why not? On that note, welcome everyone to the stream. We have AFK versus Fox first to 10 here today. Should be a very interesting match. You know, two of the teams that are somewhat struggling in the standings, so there's definitely a chance for both of them to get some of those much needed points. I am just still working on stream bits and pieces. What in the world? Okay. I was not expecting that. Anyway. Yeah, okay. Let me just get up the draft, make sure we've got the correct draft for game one, and then we can go straight over to the draft for game one, which I hope is this one. Is that right? Let me just look at the champions, cross-check the champions. Yes. And let's hope that all my pick ban blocks are there. They are there. Look at that. Wow, I can actually reveal the draft to you in order. So, worth noting that because First of 10 had some last minute roster issues, they did lose some bans. They are not going to use the final two bans. So that's after the first round of picks. They won't be banning anything else. So leaves them with 3 bans out of their 5, so we'll have to see how that affects them going into this series. And then we also have so AFK yet to pick up a game win. First of 10 have a game win, but aren't much further ahead in the standings. So it should be very interesting to see. Anyway, if we go, is it just me or is the draft music not playing? I think I know what's happened. All the audio stuff is just completely messed up. Is the draft music playing? Oh, it is. Okay, right. Yeah, cool. Anyway, going on, we see AFK. They start off with banning the Morgana. You know, into first of 10's Beth. Very good plan. Morgana, most played champion. Definitely the one you feel safest on. Then we go see first 10 decided to ban Kai'Sa in return. Just a very strong AD carry. And the AD carry for AFK is pretty strong, or at least who was playing AD carry last we checked, I believe. And then AFK really targeting this mid pool of Beth's by taking out the Nico, possibly wanting to play through that mid lane. And if I stop speaking, I am just drinking a chocolate milkshake, so don't worry about that. And we see first to 10, they cancel with the Viego ban. We've seen AFK had some good Viego performances despite not being able to get a win on it. So first 10 doing some good scouting there and just making sure to take away what could be a strong carry jungler. AFK's final ban will be the Jarvan, something that's, you know, solid jungler, very good at ganking, whereas first 10 take away the REL, potentially one of the strongest champions in the game on current patches. Did get nerfed. I think that nerf has come through, I'm not sure. If it's not come through yet, oh well. That makes her even stronger of a champion. There's AFK up to pick first, and they do lock in the Malzahar. So fairly safe mid laner. You know, one that can just scale up, brings a lot of just extra value to the team with the Malzahar ultimate, just able to lock someone down. Interesting for a first pick, yes, definitely interesting for a first pick. It was not contested, no, but potentially you will see when you see AFK's latest lane swapping that they've done, maybe why they decided to lock in something mid first. But first to 10, obviously with their next 2 picks, they decide to lock in. Interestingly, they don't count the mid lane pick. They do decide to lock in a strong team fighty sort of jungler, something frontliney with a Mumu, or could possibly be support as well, and just a safe AD carry in Xayah. Xayah, someone that of course can ult away to try and avoid things like the Malzahar ult for a little bit of time. Over to AFK for their next 2 picks, and they lock in the Rakan Ashe, so getting a very strong CC engaged bot lane, not wanting the Xayah Rakan to go to the side of first of 10. I didn't think the Amumu would be so contested myself, so I'm not sure why first 10 wouldn't lock in the Rakan if they didn't want it themselves. But maybe they just didn't want it on themselves, you know. So there's a lot of CC so far for the side of AFK, maybe lacking a little bit on the damage side. Whereas first of 10, you know, they just have a very strong looking comp so far, just nice, nice pickup. And they do lock in their mid laner as last, Ari, something that can jump around. My mic feels super quiet. Okay, wait. Is that better? I'll just move it closer and turn it up. Hopefully better now. Good, yes, bad, quiet, ASMR. Good, good. Okay, we continue with draft. The next ban, of course, Fox do not get their last 2 bans, but AFK did decide to take away the Nautilus, obviously thinking this Amumu was going towards the jungle. We know Fox didn't have another ban, and the final ban coming out the side of AFK was the Camille, so taking away one of those potential carry top laners. You know, we don't see that much Camille recently, but we do know how much it tilts Atomica, so can't be surprised that he does not want to see Zimbabwe airs in his games again. Fox deciding to lock in a just strong, solid top laner in the Ornn. You know, they're just drafting a good front-to-back team fighty comp, often very effective when you're in these sort of lower elo games. Just locking that team fight comp and just, you know, fight a team fight. AFK counter with Cho'Gath to give themselves some big, meaty front line, and also the Lee Sin to bring some of that early game damage and just some general team damage. The thing I will say about AFK's comp, it's not the highest damage comp. So I have to see how that actually performs, if they maybe might struggle to kill the Ornn. As an AFK enthusiast, you're a bit question mark about the draft. Well, just wait until you see who's playing which pick. And then the final pick locked in for first of 10 is the Vi, which does mean that Amumu is going down into the support role, and Vi will in fact be the jungler. Vi, quite a strong jungler right now. You hope it's another Dino Cho'Gath. Oh yeah, coming out with the big Cho'Gath plays. Also, what did you guys think of the whole draft revealing, despite the fact it's already been done? That took fucking ages to do, and now I have to undo all of these spoilers for game 2. Well, between the games. But there we go. Anyway, you liked it a lot more. Good, good. Took easier about the pick order. That's true, that's true. I can just move on whenever it's ready and not have to come up with something. But we can go straight over to the game, screw it. No point waiting, right? Oops. There we go, perfect. You know, we'll ignore the fact that it's a little bit scuffed. And there we go. If I tab out, is it going to freeze? Yes, it is going to freeze. Okay, we won't tab out. We'll leave it as being a bit scuffed. We just won't know when the Rift Herald's spawning. That's fine, right? You don't need to know when the Rift Herald spawns. This is all because of those stupid esports casters. Yeah, esports timers. I'm going to take those off and move the things back up to the top. They weren't supposed to cover the timers. In the live cast, the esports timers are on. But also they're super buggy and don't have the new dragons. It's really dumb. Anyway, we do see the invade there, which does get the flash out of Ashe. And something that you will notice if you look back to who's playing where. Hampy is back into the jungle on his classic Lee Sin. Might have been able to guess that from the Lee Sin being picked out. But we see Atomica and newly renamed Pocket Cat in AD carry, which does mean the Dawn has left. Is now playing mid lane, not one we've seen before. Spectator mode. Yeah, spectator mode for some reason has a different setup for replays as opposed to live. Yeah, so that might be why the first pick's coming in for mid, maybe wanting to get something just more comfortable on. It does mean that we do have a girl versus girl matchup in the mid lane. So that should be interesting. And it seems like Spectator Cam agrees, focusing a lot there on that mid lane. Pocket Cat with the aggressive trading on Ashe. Ash, one of the stronger early game AD carries. Iron Cross actually going in there with Banish Toss. Atomic are going to get the double knock up there. Maybe it wasn't a fight they want to take. The Ignite is thrown down. Exhaust also thrown. Cleanse comes out from Pocket Cat. They're putting so much damage into Desire, and that should be first blood. Atomica gets it. Iron Cross going back in. Might be able to pick up the kill onto Pocket Cat. Trying to get away. A nice knock up there from Atomica. Not sure the flash was required, but he does manage to keep his AD carry alive. First blood over to AFK. This is already their best early game they've had. You'd assume her pool is much smaller as she's new to the pool. Role. Yes. She didn't have the biggest pools, champ pools anyway, but I would expect that's why. I mean, if you're playing your first few games on that role, you know, you want something you're comfortable with. Oh, actually looks like Hampy is coming in for the gank here in mid lane. Maybe just trying to get the flash out of the Ahri, jumping forwards with a ward. It's a nice flash away from Beth. Actually puts a lot of damage into the Dawn. Has left with Ignite tick down. It will. It ends up being a 1-for-1. Something I think would be very interesting to see is what's happened to this mid wave. Hampy will shove that wave back into the tower. Should be okay and push back towards the Dawn has left. So far, actually a 700 gold lead already built up for AFK in this early game. Moving towards potentially their first ever win. It's only 3 minutes in game still, so we won't overreact, but looking good for them so far. And both junglers hovering around this bottom lane. Myself is walking up there. Happy will put a little bit of damage into the Vi, but not too much, and Vi will just walk away in the end. Oh, actually a nice block using the Malzahar minions there to block the charm in the mid lane. Of course, Malzahar is one of those champions that can quite easily run out of mana, especially early. So we'll have to see how good Dawn is at using that mana and conserving it. A lot of people forget that Malzahar's E, you know, it will give mana back when he kills minions with it. Definitely worth him trying to make sure that E gets the last hit. Beth doing a lot of just nice small trades in this mid lane, slowly building up a CS lead. Dino, meanwhile, having some of those short trades in top. Something to note is in the mid lane, Dawn has left to take the teleport, so after taking some of those bad trades, did just get to teleport back to lane with a full mana bar, full health bar, so should feel, you know, a little bit better in that lane. Able to catch up a bit on the CS lead that started building up. We could see a dive coming out top lane though. Dino is pretty low here, has just ticked up to 6, so this could be a very risky dive. And it looks like they know Myself is there. Happy is also here. They might try and get a kill onto this Vi. Myself a bit far away. Dino does not have the mana left to chomp though. May have been a bit of a mistake using all of that mana on the screen, but we'll pick up the kill on the end, and the kill goes to Lee Sin. And worth noting, neither jungler had backed as of that point in the game. So we'll see the first sort of buys coming out from those junglers now. Yeah, I believe it's the Negatron cloak being picked up for only Lurai there. Very, you know, nice pickup early into something like the Cho'Gath that does pretty exclusively magic damage, although I don't know, it's one of those times where you might have wanted to think about just rushing the Merc Treads. They have so much value in a game like this, where you could have Ash Arrows coming towards you, Malzahar silence, Cho'Gath silence. Sure, it doesn't do anything about those knockups, but in terms of all the slows, it can be pretty useful. And a little bit of MR is just exactly what you want. Oh, only Lure there actually freezing the minion wave. Really well done. Dino will have to teleport back to this to avoid losing too much. Maybe it's magical footwear. Oh, good point. Oh, right, yeah, I didn't even notice it was that. So, yeah. Possibly has magical footwear then. Just wanting to make sure it gets all of that magic resist early. Plays completely safe within the lane. And you know, during this early game, the lead has stayed about even from those early gameplays. Myself actually going onto Dino JW there. Horn is called. Iron Cross is also here. We'll jump across to the blue buff. Smart play there, and they should just be able to pick up this dinosaur. But, of course, with this play happening on the top lane, they see 3 people there, and AFK have moved straight towards that dragon. We'll pick them up an early Cloud. I mean, I have to say, the thing about picking up an early Cloud is the happiness of that is, well, we're not getting a Cloud Soul. Cloud possibly I think the second least impactful Drake to get in the early game. You know, it'll help you move back to lane a bit quicker. But otherwise, what does it really give you? The only one that's really worse, I believe, is Chemtech is the one that gives you like a tiny bit of tenacity. Tiny bit of tenacity and heal shield power, which really doesn't do much in the early game. Oh, but I am crossed there, just out in the wings. Will flash forwards instantly. Dawn has left, will get taken down. It does take 3 summoner spells to do it, but Dawn did commit the flash as well. Rift Herald being put down mid lane. Are they paying attention here? Ash Arrow comes in, Happy maybe just a bit far forwards. They should have spotted. Vi's in the wings to the top side there. Nice, just sidestep there from Happy. Will flash away. Vialt committed. Happy still alive, but flash forwards from Beth will pick up that kill, and with 3 people there was not much the blind man could do. And an absolute disaster of plays goes on from AFK, and the entire gold lead is now gone. In fact, you see the bet is now... There's 3 of the 4 kills. First 10. And it's a 1,600 gold lead built up for the side. And when we look at where the gold is mostly centered, it's pretty much across the board, except for that bottom lane right now is the saving hope for first of 10. Slowly moving towards their first items. Only Laura, not much mana left. Interestingly, Cho'Gath with building those Merc Treads early. Looks like we won't be seeing a rush towards Heartsteel. Maybe just going to go for something else here. Happy going for another mid gank. Charm is committed. There's no charm left on the Ahri. Nice ultimate there. Pushes out, and that shutdown will go over to the Lee Sin. The only problem is having all of your gold on the Lee Sin, of course, will hurt your team a little bit. You don't have all that much magic damage. It would have been nice to see that gold go over to the Malzahar. Meanwhile, you know, in this bottom lane, just small trades coming in. There's another Ash Arrow going up. Actually did hit onto Vi. Abby's just going to throw a Resonating Strike in there. You know, just tap, give Vi a little bit of a love tap. Say, look, I am around here. Before walking off. Interestingly, Abyssal Mask, the first pick up for the Ornn. Not too much what I was expecting, but you know, will help enable both Ahri and Amumu even more. is actually a gank coming up here on Ilore. Could be in a little bit of trouble, but should probably just be able to walk out of this one. A lot of CC will go down, but it's one big tanky on. Flashes out. Happy actually under the tower, taking 2 tower shots. It's not enough for him to go down. He does get a flash out from the Ornn. You know, with Spellbook, it's not too bad. You don't mind too much about losing that flash. And with the dragon spawning very soon. Very questionable with AD jungler. Playing against AD jungler, but if it works. Yeah, the Abyssal Mask is a bit of a strange rush, but I guess since got the negative from Cloak, that's a lot of damage actually put into Beth. Beth forced to ult away there. But the Dawn is left, maybe overstayed her welcome. Bandage Toss goes down. Dawn in a lot of trouble. Will ult down onto the Amumu that keeps the Amumu in place. That's not that much damage put in. And will AFK want to try and 3v4 this one? Atomica maybe stepping a bit too far forward. Well, ult gets 3 on the knock-up. The Ashe ultimate comes in, trying to put the damage in. But the CC is just zoning the Ashe away. Pocket Cat doing what he can. Happy on the backside, actually picking up multiples. Flash away from Pocket Cat. They're slowly winning the fight. Teleport in from Ornn though. Vi on the backside trying to get onto this Ashe, but Pocket Cat with the kiting will stay alive and take him down. Of course, with the TP committed from Ornn, they're not really likely to look for this dragon. But that's a very nice gold injection for the side of AFK, bringing them back into the lead. And meanwhile, Dino JW on the top side just getting these plates. And with turret plate fallen, we'll have to see what Dino JW is doing. Nice blue ward there, and we'll spot out the fact the enemy team is up towards this top side. Oh, Dawn is left actually did commit the flash there. Not wanting to get charmed. Oh, flash through. Charm does miss, but Bandage Toss will catch the Malzahar, and that's going to be one dead Void Boy. And that mid tower is very low. I'd expect them to stay here and take it, but it looks like they're not actually going to commit onto the mid tower. They're going to try and move down towards this bottom lane. They should be called out. Atomica actually jumping into the Ornn right now. Ornn is called. Pocket Cat might be in a bit of trouble trying to get out of this one. Exhaust is thrown down, but Pocket Cat trying to kite it out. Atomica doing what he can. Pocket Cat, so much damage, forcing Beth away, still trying to cut it up, but the CC maybe just too much, almost manages to get the kill onto I Am Cross. So low now, but the double knock up onto Happy. He wanted to come in and get something. He will pick up 600 gold into the pockets of the Lee Sin. And these fights are on a razor's edge right now. So close, every single one of them. Dino JW actually walking down the river, not wanting to get first tower on the top side. A bit of an interesting decision considering how much he was putting in towards getting those plates earlier. Yeah, I think I would have expected him to just go to make sure to secure that first tower before something like mid might fall. Cesario is, you know, slowly pushing that mid. The Dino JW will still be able to pick up their first tower, but maybe a bit later maybe than it could have been. One thing I will say is when you look at where all the gold is right now, it is on the AD members of AFK. When this Ornn starts getting some of that armor, it's going to become a lot harder for them to play this game. So far, Ornn having stacked that Abyssal Mask first, and still building towards MR actually, will be taking a lot of damage from these AD champions. But as soon as some armor comes out, that's going to change. Dino JW actually not seeming to use the E to trade so much. Oh, this looks like a potential death ball coming up towards the top side. They go for the Herald. always an interesting commitment when you commit a lot of people for this second Herald. I lose a turret on the bottom side, should be able to pick this up. I wouldn't expect myself to bother trying to steal it. In fact, will not. Dawnus left actually walking forward, will get caught. That's 2 of them caught. Warnhorn is called. Gonna go for the knockup. A nice knockback from the Lee Sin will stop Warnhorn coming back. It's so much damage coming out from Pocket Cat right now. Taking 1 out, taking 2 out. They're going on to the Vi next. Vi will take 1 down, trying to run away, but the slows from the Ashe. The Freljordian Ranger picking up yet another kill. Actually doing so much damage in these fights, pretty much untouched, just sitting back, hitting whoever's in front. And it is a questionable pickup. You know, they get the 3 for 1 kill off the back of the fight in the end. They did lose 2 towers as well. AFK, maybe the map play could be improved a little bit, but they are, you know, putting up a good fight. An interesting build actually coming out from the Ornn, going for the Locket, something a little bit cheaper. Something to help keep his carries alive. And AFK not actually managing to get this mid lane tower. They will potentially have to push 2 or 3 more waves in to get it. The Pocket Cat clearing out the waves pretty quickly. Cicero and I Am Cross not wanting to step up, knowing the Lee Sin was around. Pocket Cat might look for a cheeky auto attack, will just be able to get the turret in the end. And we're looking at 2 turrets for 2, 1 Drake apiece, 1 Herald apiece, I believe it was even. Only an 800 gold difference. This is a very close match. Of course, you want to look a bit at where the gold is situated. Oh, Pocket Cat actually gets charmed. Will cleanse out of that one. Nice knock up from Atomica. Enchanted Crystal Arrows commits to Pocket Cat, trying to get to the side. Serial not with the best feather call ever, but will root some. Pocket Cat still trying to get them up, but will finally get taken out by the Vi. Now Happy in a lot of trouble, flashing across the wall, trying to get away. Multiple flashes committed after him. Charm goes down onto the Lee Sin, into the bandage toss, into the shutdown. An absolute disaster for AFK. Dino saying that the pings, they see the Malzahar on the top side of the map, just pushing the tower and say, you know what? Well, maybe we should just push our tower. Dino will be able to walk in and clear this one out fairly easily. Baron spawning. 30 seconds on Dragon, and it is a Mountain Soul. Soul very strong if either team can get it. An instant Baron still actually for the side of first of 10. And it's a bit of risky. They know the Cho'Gath was up. They know the Cho'Gath was mid lane. The Cho'Gath should be able to reach here in time. Will be able to reach here. If we can get into the pit, there's a Cho'Gath with ultimate. That's an easy steal. As long as Dino JW is alive and can get close to this Baron, they're letting him in. Malzahar is committed. They're killing the Vi first. Vi is down. Meanwhile, on the backside, Pocket Cat is just killing everyone. It's an absolute disaster for first of 10. They try the Baron take, and it just fumble it completely. They give the Baron over. Nice leash for AFK, as well as a complete ace for 1 in return. And suddenly, Goldly balloons for the side of AFK. And they will also be able to pick up this Mountain Drake. I'm not sure they really need to have sent all 3 of them to do it. They know everyone is still dead. They could have maybe, you know, pushed a lane, tried to take maybe the bottom tower as well. Before taking it back. Now they'll be a bit slower on the rotate to do it. I would love to see them also take a back, you know. Dawn actually getting some deep wards. Bit of a risk. And Dino JW will just slowly try and work towards taking this bottom tower. Only Lorei doing their absolute best to keep the dinosaur off the tower. The tower is destined to fall eventually. Not much you can do about it. First to 10 now basically just trying to mitigate how much they lose from this Baron. They've already lost a hell of a lot, but they can stop any of the towers really from going down or just keep it to that outer in the bot lane. At this point you take that as a win. In fact, with Cho'Gath taking it back there, they might not even get the bot lane. Oh, a nice dodge out from Torna's left on that charm. Not sure if it was intended, but Beth did commit the ultimate. Actually jumping forwards, trying to get onto the Malzahar. Won't be able to. Velvet heal being used by Lorei there. Ashe ultimate comes up. There's the ultimate committed by Malzahar. Will actually... Trade goes down. There was not a Malzahar combo put out there. No W, no E. Just the ultimate committed, and in the end it will allow Beth enough time on the backside to pick up the return kill. You can see the team is paying Dino JW that he could be being collapsed on. It seems like Burst of 10 might get away with having bumbled that Baron. AFK just not really seeming to know what to do with this Baron. They could have chose to all push together, you know, tried to get some towers that way, but they seem to have split up and none of them really feel comfortable walking up to the enemy tower, so just happy to scale, but it's a bit of an interesting choice, you know, when you have a Lee Sin. We have a champion like Malzahar, not the best scaling champion in the world. Something like Cho'Gath, I mean, he will get bigger and bigger, but this isn't your hyper-scaling, infinitely scaling Cho'Gath. You didn't go Heartsteel. Eventually those Ornn items are going to start coming in and swinging the favour of the other direction. In fact, we actually already have an Ornn item in. I believe there's another one in the tank. Is it 13, 14, 15, 16, 17? Yeah. So, does have one of those ornaments to give out. Will be interesting to see who that ornament goes to. I would expect it probably to go to this Ahri. Potentially also decide just to give it to the Vi, that extra bit of survivability, but Ahri is your strongest member, it would make sense to give it to her right now. Dino JW will finally take that tower, not part of the Baron play, but it will go down in the end. And I mean, the way AFK are playing, you would not have expected them to be the ones with the 5,000 gold lead. They're not really pressuring much at all. Charm does miss out. Atomica running forwards, but there's a teleport committed from Burst of 10. They're trying to go backwards, but it's a struggle from AFK. They really can't get back out of this one. Iron Cross running forwards. They got the Exhausting Pocket Cat. Hampy already down. Pocket Cat taken down as well. It's an absolute disaster as AFK actually pull the trigger into a 3v4, which became 5 with the teleport. No real place for Dino JW to teleport near by the time he got there. There was nothing he could do. And Dawn is left choosing not to commit the teleport to come join the fight. Instead pushing that top lane, trying to get that tower. Should be able to get the tower if she wants to. We'll just let the minions take it. And a lot of that gold lead was closed up there. And a mountain dragon over to side versus Burst of 10, and this is very much seeming to be a game of teams throwing. Who can throw harder? Dino JW might flash over and eat this dragon, and it's stolen. And you know, even if he dies there, you gotta say that's a pretty decent steal. You take those. One step closer towards that mountain soul. And one more stack for the Cho'Gath. That is 80 bonus health. Those who don't know, 80 bonus health probably around 200 golds worth. Possibly slightly more. That's so much damage, and the Ashe is just taken out with a single combo from Beth. Felt safe because Atomica was up towards that top side, but with no wards in that brush, they just did not realize the Aria was still there. Beth clearing up this ward has to be careful though, there isn't much mana on this Ahri. Definitely contestable. Oh, Happy potentially found out here, will just ward hop away. This is buying time for Pocket Cat to respawn. First to 10, you can see they really love going towards this Baron. Starting up, trying to get it. Last time it was a complete throw. Will it be this time as well? It looks like AFK are moving towards it. The Ornn is not here yet. There is ult on the Cho'Gath. If he can get here in time, Cho'Gath is here. He's near the Baron. Will they move towards Ornn is cold. That's going down. It's going to knock up 1. It's going to knock up 2, 3. Donna's left, flashing in. Not really getting too much done. Dino JW looks like he's moving towards the Dragon. Baron potentially might go for a steal in the end, but it's a complete mess of a fight from AFK. Nowhere near as coordinated as the last time. 3 of them gone down. Cesario forced to ultimate. Ultimate wasn't actually forced during that entire fight. Baron will reset eventually. See, there's no wards in the pit. Hit the blue. They know what's going on. Beth jumping over the wall. Happy will put a lot of damage into this Ahri. Potentially going to try and kill her, but that's a triple jump over the wall. They really want to get the kill. Iron Cross is taken out by Pocket Cat, though. Pocket Cat on the backside should be able to give a lot of kiting here. That's 1 down already, 2 down. Only Laura is the last one left alive, but there's no real damage on this Ornn. The triple kill to the Ashe. What are AFK going to do? Are they going to be the ones to turn to the Baron next? Cesario is actually sticking around here, but Xayah, with no flash, probably not the person you want to be trying to steal this Baron. I mean, if she really wants, could throw that Q over, just try and get a cheeky steal, but won't get it, and first of 10. That's 2 Baron flips that have failed for them now. The question is, will they get a 3rd attempt? It looks like this time AFK know that they want to push together with the Baron. Ampy actually has taken a back, so won't be there. The rest of the team, you can see they're backing off accordingly. They don't want to make sure they don't accidentally take a fight with numbers against them. It's about a 4,000 gold lead, but most of that is made up for by Ornn items right now. Pocket throwing a lot of damage down into this Ornn. You can see the difference between not having that much armor. Charm is put down, and the cleanse was early, but it has to get onto the Rakana. It's a massive ultimate from the Amumu, jumping into the backline, but no one's on Pocket Cat. Pocket Cat's still just putting out so much damage, but there's a jump down. Pocket Cat gets caught, gets taken out. Happy and Dino JW, the last 2 left alive. Dino putting in more damage again, trying to get a kill onto the body, trying to put any damage down. Can't get it in the end. It's all left to Happy, and Happy has to get away here. If he falls, that could be the game. Actually is doing the Raptors. That's a risky play. Should be able to walk out of that one, but we'll have to walk back to base. But no, they're not pushing. They're just choosing, you know what? Let's say, hey, look, it's still a Baron, someone with a Baron. Let's just take our backs. Let's just spend our money. Come back to this fight with an effective gold advantage at this point. There is a 2 Mountain Drake difference, but the Ornn is level 16, has given out 4. Actually, only 3 of those Ornn upgrades. Should be 4 now? Yes, 4 of those Ornn upgrades, sorry. So that's around 4,000 gold added on, so actually the gold lead right now for first 10. Atomica takes so much damage trying to get out of that one. Knocked back, pulls Beth in. Will actually manage to get out. Ultimate is committed. They might be able to get the Ahri. The jump in from Atomica will get him killed. Ornn is committed. They're trying to go on to Happy. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes wide. Happy putting what damage in he can. The 2 of his carries are behind. They've got to be careful. Dino JW, meanwhile, is zoning off the rest of the enemy team. This Cho'Gath soak so much damage But that's a catch, and the Ashe goes down. That is Pocket Cat out. That is the big carry for the side of AFK down. Dawn is left. It's the last one left alive. Will get taken out. And they're going towards this dragon. Honestly, I'm surprised they're not just running it down mid. They will secure the dragon. Bats coming out. Not wanting to pressure, it seems. Could have been a potential inhib take there, you know. They could definitely very easily gone and taken an inhib and then taken the back, or maybe taken an inhib back off to the dragon. But they choose instead that they just want to 100% secure the dragon, make sure that not even like a rogue Rakan steal can come out, and prefer to just play it as safe as possible. Maybe those Baron flips might be just getting to them a little bit. My god, might look even, but again, these ornaments will definitely make it so much different. Only Lorite, now 17, can give out that final ornament. Upgrade that Amumu, give him the little bit of extra stats. The teams here just playing a little bit around the mid lane. See practically full build on the Lee Sin. Last spot left open for wards, control wards, to allow better jumps. Does also have that yellow trinkets, you know, I mean, he could always buy a different item. I mean, at the moment, they see the Ahri bot lane. If this is... AFK could choose to engage right now. They know Ahri's bot lane. They know this is a 5v4. They're walking forwards. They're looking for it. Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes out. But that's a jump back in from the Amumu. The fight is kicking off. That's one taken down already. Pocket trying to put in what damage he can. The Runan's massive, hitting multiple people. Only Lore taken low. But in the end, no one is taken out. Sisora, though, steps back forward and is taken out. That's 1,000 gold into the pockets of the Ashe. Myself jumping back forwards. Lee Sin jumping in is knocked back. He's the only one in there trying to flash away. The bandage shot comes out. There's a knock onto the Amumu. But the Cho'Gath. And the fight is a bit of a mess from AFK. Although they come out on the top, they're losing so much on the bottom side of the map. Happy is just slowing them down. Might actually end up being taken out. But meanwhile, in this bottom lane, Beth assassinates the Ashe. Dawn has to try and save the game right now. Atomica does manage to also make it back to base. This should be hard for them to finish. They managed to get one inhib, but they are backing out, or looking towards this mid inhib. See, Frey pushing the mid, while the Ahri is down bottom. And this has been such a close game. You gotta imagine the rest of this series is gonna be a banger. We've had 65 kills in 35 minutes, 5 dragons taken, 2 barons. We're not even at soul yet. All ornaments are taken. We've had our first few people hitting level 18. Side of first of 10. That means XP no longer helping them out with their level ups, no longer giving them those bonus stats, but AFK can slowly catch up a little bit of that gold. This could be one of those times where AFK maybe just want to try and get some of that XP, scale up a little bit more. The overall first to 10 being slightly better with that XP management. Could also be just a bit from the kill lead that they have. Kills are giving experience. Oh, but this is a Baron started off by first to 10. This is a risk. So far, the Barons have... Oh, Pocket Cat actually round the back of the Baron. Is that really where he wants to be? Could be in trouble. Beth trying to get on. Just trying to zone this Ashe out. And the Ashe, you can see, the Ashe could not come forwards. Atomica will give his life there. It's actually still alive at the end. Pocket Cat, though, can't get in. Has to be wary of this Ashe. This Ahri who's assassinated him time and time again. Pocket Cat just trying to zone them out a little bit, but it's behind enemy lines. Atomica jumping away. Pocket Cat in so much trouble. The charm is beautiful. Goes around the walls, picks him up. And that's going to be the dragon. All AFK really had to do was, you know, stall a little bit. Get towards this soul. Soul would be better for them there than the Baron. But Dino JW has the ultimate still up. No way is this still going to happen again. But no vision. And the Rakan will fall as well. 3 dragons apiece. Arguably better dragons. The side. First 10 just. Dino JW can soak up a lot of this damage. Of course, with the inhibs down, that will be slowly more gold funneling into the pockets of AFK. See the first of AFK's players starting to tick up to level 18. So far, first of 10, the only one left to get there is the support, still sitting on 16. Ooh, Charm goes wide. A lot of damage coming out from the Ahri. Sideways wave management not been the best from AFK. Still lagging behind a little bit. Oh, but there's a nice enchanted crystal arrow actually hits onto the Xayah. That's the ultimate committed from the Malzahar, but there's no one there to survive. Pocket Cat finally gets to the fight, but what can he do? The fight's already over. Trying to put as much damage down as he can. The cleanse the flash away, trying to get damage into Beth. It's not enough to take him down. Dino JW will kill the Vi, but that's not the priority target. With no ultimate left, he will fall, and it's all left down to Hampy to try and defend against 4 and maybe take one out. Jumps in, gets one. He takes out Beth. Can maybe get the Amumu. He's distracting them. This is a lot of time being bought right now. 20 more seconds needed though, and that's not going to be enough. He gets one, almost gets the second, but can't buy the time, and it will after a back and forth game lasting almost 40 whole minutes. Be first of 10, picking up the first win in this series. And yeah, that's what a game. We do, in fact, have another game, at least. We potentially even have 2 more of those. I need to quickly go and refix the draft because everything needs to be re-hidden. Nothing is hidden right now. Unfortunately, that's how this thing works. There's no way to easily unhide or hide a load of assets. But, wow, I mean, we are anxious to see if anything's taken out of these drafts. Potentially we might see like the Amumu taken away. Amumu seem to be very good for them. Otherwise, who knows? Anyway, let's go straight into the draft for game 2. AFK, yet again, choosing to be on the blue side. First of 10 on the red. We'll go through very quickly the first few bans because you might notice all the bans are exactly the same. And this is where maybe we'll see some different happen. whatever. We see AFK actually prioritizing the Xayah first. The Ashe did very well for them last game. Felt like that really was a big damage dealer for them, but actually prioritizing Xayah this time. Interesting pick. If they wanted something like the Xayah Rakan duo, you'd usually expect people to put the priority on that Rakan, but this time Xayah. First of 10. Will counter with the Aphelios Rakan. I mean, decent bot lane, you know, Moonboy has pretty much been in meta since he's come out. He's he's pretty much always been there, and Rakan is just hard to get him out of meta because of, you know, all of the CC that he brings. The maneuverability means he's hard to catch. Pretty damn strong champion. Then faced with this, AFK will lock in their support next, locking in the Nautilus, something that, you know, can lock down a champion like Aphelios, someone without any real dashes. You know, you can point, click, press your ult, get that kill, potentially. And then they will lock in the Malzahar again, obviously, what they perceive to be a good champion for their mid laner. Lotta being fairly new at mid. Not having the best showing on the Malzahar, but it's a champion she's comfortable with. You go for it, you take those champions, and Malzahar's one that almost doesn't matter how your lane goes. Even if it goes terribly, he can always be useful. Just the way the champion's built. And first to 10, of course, you'd expect them to lock in a mid laner here. And in fact they do, they lock in the Vel'Koz, something with maybe a little more of that long range poke. Can provide a bit heavier AP threat, let's say, this time. More towards that team fighting. And of course, no bans for the side of first of 10, so it will all be AFK choosing who to ban, and they do ban out Ornn and Camille, focusing more towards that top side, not worried too much about the jungle past this point. But trying to take away the biggest kind of counters, or the biggest beefy boys in that top lane. And then first of 10 will lock in their jungler, keeping counterpick top for last. Usually you'd expect to see that, so they lock in the Sejuani for themselves. AFK will counter with a Hecarim and a Sion. So getting some more of that front line, but also picking up something that can bring a lot of that AD damage in the Hecarim. Something I'll say again, for AFK, I'm not so sure about drafting so that your only AP is your new mid lane player, but we'll have to see how that goes. And then the Sion, of course, just massive beefy boy. Can stand in your front line, bring a lot of engage. And first of 10 decide to counter with the Warwick. So it should be a very interesting game. Yeah, I actually have to load the game up before we can start it. Always important. Oh, you know what we forgot to do last time? I can't believe we forgot to do this last time. Someone should have said something. Now we get into game 2, AFK versus first of 10. AFK still looking for their first win. First of 10 looking for their first series win if they can take this game. Interestingly enough, that is a Sejuani top lane and a Warwick jungle. Not something you expect to see that often. So Sejuani, as it turns out, was a flex pick used to hide who was going top, who was going jungle. Works out quite well, you know. They get themselves what we must assume they perceive to be a very good matchup. I don't know the matchup between Warwick and Hecarim myself.
Minions have spawned.
You know, something like Sejuani top lane, we might see a lot of ganks towards the top lane. When you got something like a Warwick in the jungle, that'd be very strong. Interestingly enough, we do see the AD item, support item, picked up by Rakan. Not often you see that, oh, but they're in the bush. Iron Cross will walk up, face check. That's a start. They're putting in what damage they can, trading it back. Iron Cross taking a lot, but the exhaust is thrown down. Pocket Cat in a lot of trouble now, actually. Cicero jumping forwards, and this might just be last game, but in reverse. They do take out the Aphelios, but Atomica should be able to take out the Aphelios in return, sorry. And that's a kill for a kill, but advantage to the side of first of 10. First blood, and it's on the Moon Boy. That's a bit of a disaster, not really what you want. On Lorei there, using the Sejuani Arctic Assault just to interrupt Sion's Q. No devastating smashes going on. Probably a bit devastating for Dino having his smash interrupted, but there we go. See, actually, from the way the wave worked out, this is a big advantage even for first 10 spot lane. You see pretty much the opposite of last game, where AFK's bot lane was just isolated winning, and this time it's pretty much the opposite way around. First 10 spot lane, pretty much just winning in isolation. Oh, but it's a gank down towards the bottom lane. Myself actually going on to Pocket Cat. Knows that there's no flash on Pocket Cat. Ampy is coming in, but what can he do? The Ghost just... And he just actually starting to run out. Iron Cross taken quite low. Pocket Cat still throwing in the auto attacks. Myself taken quite low himself, but the E damage resist coming out. And the heals, there might be enough of them. Iron Cross with so much healing though. Pocket Cat, in the end, can't quite pick up anyone and will go down again. And this time, it's a bit of a disaster for an early game. For AFK, they did so well in game 1. Complete opposite is happening in game 2. Will Atomica hold the wave? Good guy support, holding the wave for his AD carry. I mean, at this point in the game, you can pretty much just afford to take your entire health bar and that damage. Dino, though, forced a flash up towards this top lane. And, bit of a struggle across the board. What a shining light right now. I guess it would be that Sion in the top lane. The Cull having that small CS advantage really will just lead to more. Meanwhile, Hampy looking a lot for these ganks. Not something you typically do early on in the Hecarim. You might, try for some cleanup ganks, but he really does need to farm. Hecarim, one of those champions that really does need gold, really does need those items. See Dawn just pretty much using mana off cooldown. Really struggling with some mana issues. so much to say so far about this. Really well played early game from side of first of 10, especially the bot lane managing to get back, turn around that early engage, of course, with the help of their minion wave. Minion wave will do that for you, especially level 1. Abby still looking for an engage. I mean, they can put some damage down into the Rakan, but Abby needs to farm. He's still only level 4 on the Hecarim. Hasn't really taken a camp in a while. You know, still not on the tier 2 boots. And, well... He's finally gone back to the farming, should be able to get some more nice gold there. Of course, we saw like Malzahar mid as soon as that Hecarim gets to 6. That's going to be a very harsh kill lane. I might actually decide to go for this fight onto myself. Trying to put some extra damage into the Warwick. Ghost committed, looking for the kill. A lot of damage being thrown down, and will pick it up, and that is a shutdown. A nice bit of gold brought back. Dawn here will commit the ultimate, but with just 2 voidlings, nothing really going to happen. Beth will flash away after it ends and be able to get out of that one pretty easily. Happy trying to dodge up here, but CC, there's so much. Ultimate committed. Dino JW will use the ult to try and keep Hampy alive. Hampy should be able to just walk out of this one, but maybe the slows on Dino could be enough for them to catch up. Sejuani passive. Yep, there we go. Will manage to pick up the kill on the Scion. Of course, Zombie Scion should be able to pick up most of the wave, or at least a nice chunk of it. Oh, ultimate committed from Atomica. That's a flash away. They're putting the damage down into the Aphelios. Atomica committing the flash super late will get picked up at the end, and force the flash as well. Not the cleanest of dives, but they will at least deny a wave from the Aphelios, which should catch them up a little bit in gold. When we look at the gold, yeah, only about a kill behind. And probably stay about that way as most of that wave will die to the tower. But so far, first of 10 doing a very good job to build up that gold lead in the early game. AFK are managing to push back, get a few small kills, you know, back in return, but not really amounting to too much. Looks like Olin Gloria there might try and freeze that wave. Ampy still only level 5 on the Hecarim. Needs to get this level 6. Looks like he might be going for the Degenerate Yomu's build, where you know, Hecarim loves speed, so Yomu's gives him speed. Just a classic Alphos combo there to pick up another kill onto Dawn, and we can see why this time he squats over Vel'Koz, doing a bit better. Myself is sitting in the bush here. This could be a bit of a bad engage. There's so much damage thrown into the Xayah. Pocket Cat trying to do anything, throws the ult out but a bit late, not much can come out of it. Lorai could be in some trouble here. Will run
towards the minion wave, just trying to pick up as much CS as possible before dying. Tomica will get taken down as well, and with 4 on this bottom lane, there's going to be a lot of plates picked up. And it's a trade across the map, but it's a trade in First 10's favour. They managed to get some plates on the bottom side there. They also are going to probably pick up this dragon, and they get 2 kills instead of just the 1. And are doing his best to neutralise some of that loss yet again. Ooh, and a nice actual combo there from the Dawners left. Did forget to put the E down, but almost a perfect combo. Not quite enough though to pick up the kill on the Vel'Koz. Bit of a shame in the end. A little bit more damage, and that might have been a kill. Oh, and a nice silence from the Dawners left there will actually stop Vel'Koz's ult. Happy looking to kill the tentacle monster. It's a lot of damage going in. Should be able to just pick this one up. Gonna leave it for the mid laner, and I like to see that when that's the only AP on your team. Definitely make sure your mid is still in the game. I say the only AP on the team. You know, Nautilus does mostly AP damage. He just doesn't really do much damage, so there we go. Looks like only Leroy again might be working towards yet another locket. Does seem to like going locket on these top lane tanks. It is of course a very cheap option. It doesn't make you the tankiest of members, but really can help you keep your own teammates alive. Interesting enough, I'm a little surprised this time we didn't see a maybe more of a tankier item again to start with. Last time, of course, we saw the Abyssal Mask coming out, but maybe this time you could expect to see something else. But that's a really nice hook from Atomica. Stops Iron Cross getting across the wall. But Iron Cross will commit the ultimate to try and get out. So much damage going in. Should be picked up in the end. Oh, but Pocket Auto's award will be able to use that double feather kill in the end. In the end, it's an Ignite. Really committed to get that kill. And there's the ultimate from the Vel'Koz. Will pick up yet another kill. This trade's going on the top side. But Happy jumping in. Maybe didn't realise the Warwick was there. Should be able to just get out of that one with the speed of the pony. And meanwhile in top lane, you know, just tanks doing tank things. Nothing to see here. And Happy wants to clear out this wave, but the amount of just poke that comes out from the Vel'Koz, it's hard to get close. Maka is actually here in the mid lane as well. Nothing really coming out of that one though. Happy still working towards his first item. Meanwhile, Walk sitting on that full attack Hydra. Oh, it's actually not the locket going towards it. It's the other one where if you see someone that your team does extra damage, or they take extra damage. Very strong item for its cost, especially in things like team fights. Of course, only Lori now has to be careful about constant trading with the Scion. Will slowly just give him more and more stacks on that Heart Steel, which you definitely do not want to do. Already 30 bonus health having been built up. Oh, there's ultimate committed. No one has left. Will pick that up, but be picked up in return. And, you know, with the assist going on to the Hecarim, it does overall become a win for AFK. We'll be able to push that lane in as well. And yeah, this is more what I expected to see. I was expecting the Hecarim to basically farm up until 6 and then on cooldown of Malzahar they just gank mid. But nice to see it starting now. Oh, throwing down mid, we'll just pick up that first turret. All of that gold goes to the Warwick. Titanic Hydra start, looking more towards a bruiser-ish sort of build. It looks like it'll be Cloud Soul, so a significantly weaker soul than last time, although we didn't see the soul actually come out last game. It was 3 dragons to 3, but a big fight could be breaking out here. Dino taking so much damage, the ultimate's committed by multiple members. Hampy and Atomica are stuck in the fight right now. Hampy taken out, Atomica now forced to try and run away, will flash across the wall, hook to get out. The zombie Scion can't really do anything, and Dawn will be left to walk away, limping out of that fight. And AFK lose 2 and lose the dragon. Actually, a teleport coming out. They really want to secure this bot lane tower. You know, it's some extra gold, but not sure how worth the teleport it was. Objective bounty will be coming up soon because of this goldie that's been built up. TP, interestingly, also allowing ultimate there, putting a lot of damage into Pocket Cat. The burn might be enough. Roots too. Atomica could be in trouble. Will get taken out. Meanwhile, that teleport down bot did actually allow mid lane turret to be picked up by AFK, and it was an objective bounty too, so 250 bonus gold split between the team. 50 bonus gold each. Not worth as much as the kill in bot lane, and definitely not worth losing that second tower. I mean, in the end, it ends up being a good play first to 10, but you have to ask, should it have been? Oh, Cesario maybe gone a bit far forward. Their ultimate is cancelled by Malzahar. Dawn now could be in some trouble. Really nice ultimate from Hampy. Will try and keep him alive, but actually the Titanic Hydra proc will kill the Malzahar. Myself jumping back, killing the double. And actually, Dino not having picked up that many more stacks on the Heartsteel so far. 98 bonus health, not all that much, all things considered. They'll be in a bit of trouble. Probably will just try and get some more Heartsteel stacks here, I would assume. Looks like he's trying to get away to use the ultimate, but just also take the Heartsteel stacks. Dino, what are you doing? Just take the Heartsteel stack. There we go, does take one in the end. Able to get out of that one very easily, but, you know. There's no real reason not to take them. Be a bit of a more tanky Warwick build coming out for the rest of it. Has that Titanic Hydra, relying on that pretty much for its damage. Across the board at the moment, really, it's item advantages for the side of first of 10. The only real place where there is a gold advantage for AFK is in that top lane, but in terms of completed items, it's 1-to-1. Mainly because Sejuani's item is so cheap in comparison. Sorry, actually putting a decent chunk of damage there into Atomica. Oh, Dawn is jumping forwards, flashing to get the ultimate flash away from Beth. Will she be able to escape from this one? No, that will be a shutdown picked up into the pockets of the Hecarim. But now that's an instant turn onto the Baron by first of 10. Nice turn, but do they actually have the damage to finish this Baron before anyone gets here? Teleport coming in. The rest of the team is here from AFK. They're putting in what damage they can. Ultimate committed. Tomika jumping into the backside, but they've caught onto the Malzahar. Backside Cesario is picked up. Big fight is breaking out on both sides. Only Laurie is the last one left alive. It's myself trying to fight, trying to get the kill on Pocket. Flashing forwards, can't quite get the kill. Was that a Titanic proc? I think that was a Titanic proc that picked up the kill there. And the healing for myself is disgusting. And almost manages to take out Hampy as well. The burn is not quite enough, but they really do need to get some anti-heal, some anti-tank. You can see if they take out the Malzahar, then all of that armor becomes a real problem to deal with. I'll say I'm not so sure about the Abyssal Mask pickup on Sejuani. It does buff a lot of her damage, but when you look at the team, it's only really buffing like Vel'Koz as well as you, and Vel'Koz does a big chunk of true damage. So is it that useful? Debatable. See, actually Dino stacking up a lot of health now, starting to get to that point where each artifact is going to be doing a big chunk of damage when that Heartsteel procs. Might see a Titanic Hydra eventually picked up for this Scion, and then he would really start doing damage. I would like to see, of course, some anti-heal picked up from AFK. They've just seen what the Warwick can do. Oh, engage actually coming out from Atomica, but no one can really follow up. Hampy jumps in, but no real damage coming out. Cesario will miss the ultimate. Myself, meanwhile, is just running down the Malzahar, just auto-attacking Malzahar to death. Will smite for the finish. Ultimate committed from Lorraine. Nice sidestep from Pocket Cat, trying to get out of this one. Feather Call will go wide eye for jumping forward. Flash finally committed by Pocket Cat, trying to kite it out. But that will just be a little bit too much to handle. And it was a really messy fight from AFK. I mean, they had the Warwick caught behind them in the Malzahar ultimate, but they didn't turn to try and kill him. They kept sort of splitting their focus, and Warwick kind of just killed Malzahar in the end by himself. And Cloud Soul now, outside first 10 this game. Still feels close. It's a 4,000 gold lead, but we saw last game, AFK actually had a slightly bigger gold lead, and the game eventually turned against them. The only thing I'd say this time is don't necessarily have the scaling on their side, AFK. I mean, they have Scion, who is now doubly infinitely scaling. But apart from that, you know, something like a lethality Hecarim eventually will start to fall off. Only 2 items as well. Tonica could be in a lot of trouble. A nice buffer on the hook. We'll get him out. And first 10 actually turning straight onto this Baron. I mean, I guess they see Dino JW on the bottom side. Maybe realize he doesn't have any teleport. Oh, beautiful Sejuani ultimate onto the Zyra. The hook away will try and keep Zyra alive. Fight is breaking out on both sides. Dawn is left in a lot of trouble as well, though. Ultimate is committed. One's left goes down. Nautilus goes down. As left, they want to try and 2v5. Only Lorai will have to walk out of this one. Heal is committed. Hampy going fast, jumping over the wall, but way too early. The smite will not be able to do anything. Maybe the Scion can pick up a tower. Will pick up a tower in the end. You know, 480 gold shared between the team. It's something. It's not much. They're slowly building out more gold. Really, we're probably going to see the last fight in around 4 minutes time when this Elder Dragon spawns. The first 10 get this, game pretty much ends. I mean, if AFK get it, it sort of depends how close the fight is. Because if they don't get it on enough members, it would be very hard for them to end. Because they don't have the biggest AoE sort of team. But Atomica in a lot of trouble, will hook away, will commit the flash to try and get out, but taken out in the end. Not really too much you can do about that one. Dino JW is slowly killing the minions. Actually, a lot of damage being thrown down into the Scion. Nice ultimate to stop him there, and so much damage going to the side of AFK, but they have staved off the engage for now. Pocket Cat takes a lot. Is that burn going to be enough? Flash forwards, the burn was enough anyway. Beth did not need to flash, but flashed anyway. Dawn, though, maybe got a bit too close, trying to flash out of this one. Cesario trying to carry up, but just gets too greedy and will get taken out. You see the anti-heal stun he picked up. Oh, that's a very nice engage from Hampy, but what can they actually do with that? Ultimate committed from Atomica, they're trying to put the damage in. Maybe only Lore will get caught out. If they can get this, this will be very good. A shutdown. Hampy will get taken out in the end now. Myself is here, though. That's going to be an issue. Atomica will, root him. Iron Cross on the backside. Picks up that kill. Exhaust thrown into the Scion just for the slows. Open slow will be enough to take him out. Probably didn't need the slow in the end. Pocket Cat will now be the one to try and get some extra damage in. Ultimate is committed. So much damage coming down. Pocket Cat doing what he can. Dawn is left, is knocked up under the tower and taken out. Pocket Cat actually stepping forwards, being very aggressive with this positioning. Root goes down, does get a shutdown onto the wall. Has to be careful not to die though. Pocket Cat trying to save this game, trying to get AFK their first win. Dodging out from everything, buying as much time as he can for the rest of the team to spawn. Happy is here. He's going for it. He's jumping in. There's a knockback onto Beth, but he's a lethality Hecarim. He doesn't do enough damage. The lethality Hecarim has fallen off. He doesn't have the levels or the items anymore. And first to 10 actually just looking for the triple inhib right before the Elder Dragon spawns. With Hampy down, they might turn to this or they might just look to end the game. There are some low health balls though. Probably not going to be the end of the game quite yet. Elios Q will go wide. Big gold lead now, inside of first of 10. I mean, they can start up this Elder, but they have to be very careful not to flip it. I mean, they have the game so easily in their hands right now. To be honest, they could just look for a pick and then try and end off that with the super minions walking in. Elder's a bit of a flip. Oh. That was interesting. Red Trinket disables vision from buffs. Some little buffs left on the floor. Didn't know that. But yeah, you can really see the level disparity starting to come into play. Especially when you have like a lethality champion. Oh, Atomica maybe stepped a bit too far forward. Ultimate going out. Really nice engage from Lore. Getting on to Pocket Cat. Pocket Cat in a lot of trouble. Is taken out already. Dino GW on the backside. Might be a big tank, but will get taken down. And looks like they might be leaving one to do the Elder. No, they're all going to just run it down the end. That will surely, unless some miracle, and be the end of the game. Happy now, the last one left to try and do something, but this is not AFK's day. They will not be picking up their first win, but first to 10 picking up their first series win in a very back and forth series against AFK. And yeah, I mean that first game was absolute bloodbath. What else can you say about that? Yeah. I mean that's the end of the series. If anyone would like a quick interview, I don't really have anything to ask, to be honest. I had zero planning, meetings overran. And I've not been thinking about what to ask during the games. So, if anyone wants to come in and just give some random stuff about how the games went, feel free. Whoops. So, I mean, a few things to note from this is this does currently actually put first of 10 up one spot in the standings with one more game played than the rest of the competition. Meanwhile, Team Advance still with the most games left to play. AFK and Confused do have 2 series, so in theory, it is still possible for them to get. I think it's still possible for them to get 4th, but they'd need to pull out 2 absolutely massive wins. Absolutely massive wins. I think it's more likely they'll just look towards trying to pick up one nice win by the end of the season. Should be good for them. Well, yeah. I mean, we can give a quick overview of what will be coming up next in the schedule. Just to let you guys know, you have an idea what to look out for. So, what's the date? 17th of the 7th. We're about here. So, not tomorrow, but in fact on Wednesday, the 19th, we will have first of 10 versus Team Advance. First of 10, despite taking that win, have what is going to be their hardest matchup, potentially, left. That will be their final game against Team Advance. So they'll be praying to pull some more points away there to get themselves up in the standings, maybe even steal a series win. Team Advance still trying to forge ahead. They're coming up on the Friday, unless it gets rescheduled. I don't know. Maybe it will. Girl versus Dynamo New Dawn. And then Dark Shroud versus AFK, potentially also that weekend. I mean, when we look towards the standings, it is currently looking like our winner will probably come down to the winner between Guys in Real Life or Team Advance, unless one of them happens to drop a series of some games somewhere else. And AFK and Confused really have to pull out a win somewhere if they want to get themselves off the bottom of the table. Anyway, why does it say 0-0? Oh, right. I know. I paused that. It's 0-2. Anyway, thank you everyone for coming and watching. I'll catch you next time.